Hey friends, welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast. Come join me, your host Nicole, for some hope-filled conversations about heartfelt entertainment that makes your heart swing. Hey Hearties, welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast. I'm your host Nicole, joined by my co-host Brennan and our friend Catherine once again to talk about When Calls the Heart. And this time, season 1, episode 6, These Games. It was written by Cheryl J. Anderson and directed by Ann Wheeler. Elizabeth is feeling caught between overprotective Jack and new miner Billy Hamilton. When Jack tells her he has proof Billy lied to her, Elizabeth has had enough. What were your first impressions on this episode, Brennan and Catherine?
Jack was right. Jack was right. Trust the Mountie instincts.
You always trust the Mountie.
Always trust the Mountie. Exactly. You run after the Mountie and you trust the Mountie. It's not that hard. And
it's not that hard. Basic principles.
And you love the Mountie. The end.
3 basic life principles.
Yes.
We had a lot of togetherness. We had a lot of there's some mystery in there with who was the real thief.
Robert.
Robert. There was a mystery. Are the baby's gonna come? No, they actually did. Yeah. Or no, once again, how far along pregnant was she? So we'll consider that a mystery. And then same thing. There was growth in this one as a community, literally by babies being born, and then growth in relationships.
Yes.
Absolutely. I agree with all of that. And I love that scene, that first scene of this episode where Elizabeth and Billy are on the woods with their lanterns. It's just such a beautifully shot scene, just beautiful scenery. You have Jack riding up right away with news to Elizabeth about Billy. Yep. So I really liked how this episode picked up right after the dance. Yes.
Yeah. I agree. Those are my first impressions too. And what is the emotional tone for both of you in this episode? So one word to describe this episode.
I'm going with Brennan's feisty from episode 5 because I feel like we've knocked up a level of the feistiness. I mean, and I say that with Elizabeth telling Jack, I don't need a father, or I already have a father, whatever, however she words it. So she's just like, you're not telling me what to do kind of a thing. So, but then there's acceptance. Yeah. So feistiness and acceptance.
Yes. I think I'll say mysterious.
Ooh, good one. Yes. I will say action and chance, if those make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Oh, to take a chance? Take a chance on me?
Yeah.
Take a chance on me.
Now we'll segue to the song.
We got 3.
Bad Billy Brown, Leroy Brown wants you to take a chance on me.
Yeah. Jack's also singing that too.
And then Jack is singing Hit the Road, not Jack. Jack is saying hit the road.
Right. Yeah.
Don't you come back no more. Yeah, I'm going to wrap this up in 45 minutes.
Hit the road, Billy. Don't come back no more, no more, no more, no more.
Hit the road, Jack. Billy.
These are songs I haven't heard in a long time. They just seem appropriate.
So good. So fitting.
I know this show did not exist when season 1 was airing, but maybe Jack jumped through the Port Haven pond to get the songs that we're singing.
That could be.
Like, listen.
Remember, they never found a body.
Right. Oh, he's time traveling.
No, because Nathan and Elizabeth belong together, and sorry, Jack, rest your soul.
Yeah.
They do. 100.
Yes. So I'll share my bold or unpopular opinion now. So this isn't an unpopular opinion. I think I've seen some other people say this too. Can they bring Billy Hamilton back as a reformed Billy Hamilton?
Absolutely. And I believe Mr. Andrew Walker would love to do that. I think it's been mentioned by Mr. Andrew Walker.
Yes, I think it has. Yes, I think he said he'd love to come back. Yeah.
We would love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Come back, Andrew.
Come back.
As a reformed Billy Hamilton. Maybe Julie can come back. Maybe Julie can come back too. Or Charlotte. And they could pair them together.
You know, it would be very interesting in that aspect, because obviously his beef was with Jack. So how the Nathan aspect of I feel there could be some good intertwined stories. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. A little more of Nathan learning about the past.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe not pair him with Charlotte or Julie, but someone. Maybe pair him with someone in town.
Mm-hmm.
Hardee's, who would you pair?
Yeah, I was trying to think of
Billy Hamilton.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I was going to say I would pair him with somebody, but man can't stay because he's very busy filming a lot of Hallmark movies.
True.
And some caterer movies.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But in a perfect world, if Andrew was available, who would you pair Billy with?
Yes.
There you go. Yeah.
And actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, for his storyline too, I'd like to see him already have been married. He was reformed, been married, now is a widow, and comes back with little kids. So there you go, Faith.
Oh, I love that.
I mean, I love Tom, and I want Tom back for Faith. But if that can't happen, let's make this one happen.
Yeah,
that would be great.
Maybe
I think it would just be a really fun, pleasant surprise for Elizabeth also in that story too.
Episode arc, maybe.
Yes. Completely. I love these ideas.
Me too. So going to Coal Valley Chronicles, our main storylines in this episode, I think they just carry over from episode 5. But this one, we have the miners' games instead of the miners' dance. And then the Jack, Elizabeth, and Billy love triangle. And then Mary, Caleb, and DeWitt, as well as Abigail still caring for Carla. So that's 4. But they just kind of carried over because this is a 2-episode arc.
Mm-hmm.
And what did y'all think about the storylines in this episode, as a continuation? And then what do you think this episode set in motion for the rest of the season?
Well, it very much sets up 2 couples.
Mm-hmm.
We are really starting to now set up Jack and Elizabeth, especially now that more of his feelings for her are being revealed.
Yes.
Also setting up Mary and DeWitt, especially now, and we'll get to it, but especially now with Caleb at the end starting to accept DeWitt and inviting him into the home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, something that we learn, it's better to catch a bee. Wait, what was the honey line? Give me the honey line.
Oh, catch more flies with honey.
Flies with honey.
Than with vinegar. And Jack takes that to heart, and then he realizes that's not the way to go. You cannot buy a woman's love, even if it was for $3 for a cake.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I feel like those were good lessons learned in that aspect, and then yes, those continue on for future seasons. And then I feel like it's still just the community coming together. Like Jack needs somebody to help him. He needs somebody to wear a brooch.
Yeah.
And absolutely, all hands on to help, to help catch a robber. And then you've got the community, of course, coming together to welcome the new ones. So,
Yeah. So I agree with both of your thoughts. This episode, especially in regards to Jack and Elizabeth, I think this is really the start of their
Mhm.
relationship, courtship. Like this is when things really start to heat up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because after that last, it brings out the heart to heart after that last moment where they've already had that bicker, they've had that conflict about the goat,
Yeah.
about this, and this.
Yeah.
But it was like, it was how hurt Elizabeth was when she thought that Jack thought so little of her, and or in her own, like whether or not she could be trusted for picking a good person, and that was genuine hurt on her end for how he saw her. And so, yeah, you're right that this was that launching point of, and also then you get Abigail saying, well, I know what feelings between people look like. Haven't you two figured that out yet?
Right.
Yep.
It's kind of obvious.
Yeah.
Yes. And then Mary and DeWitt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This episode, I think, really launched their courtship even more than episode 5.
I agree.
Yeah, me too.
So, Hearts of the Valley, who do you think changed the most in this episode?
I think Caleb changed the most.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'd give it to him again.
He's the first one that comes to mind. Even with how the episode starts, he's still so resistant. And he goes so far as to ask his mom, tell this guy to leave me alone. He won't leave me alone. And what growth for him to then, and I know I mentioned it before, but at the very end of the episode to invite DeWitt for pie. And he's excited and he's engaging in conversation. And it's it seems like almost a complete 180.
Yeah, I agree. I would say Caleb and Elizabeth in a way, because Elizabeth, even at the beginning of episode 6, she's still not happy with Jack, that he is confronting her about Billy. And by the end, she realizes that she was wrong and Jack was right, and she apologizes. So she has a redemptive arc in this episode.
Yes. And we get to see them cuddle little babies together.
Yes.
It was so pretty precious. I don't have anything else to add. I would agree on both of those.
Yeah. So what were some moments of growth, vulnerability, or conflict for the two of you with any character in this episode or characters?
Well, I already said mine. I think it was that fine line of the you don't trust me, and and that goes both ways for both of them, because he comes to Abigail and says, how can you get somebody to listen to you or whatever? So and he's repeatedly saying, I'm just doing this to help her. And so I think that at the end, obviously there is trust between them. So that's probably, to me, the most thing that stood out.
Yeah,
absolutely. I agree with that. Oh, mine would be Caleb again. He's the one that really, really stood out to me this episode.
Yeah, he had a lot of growth in this episode. For me, moments of growth, vulnerability, or conflict. So growth, that would be for Caleb, inviting DeWitt to have pie with him and his mom. Moment of growth for Elizabeth, going to Jack, not necessarily going to Jack, in the cliffhanger scene, so to speak, of the episode. So the final scene of the episode, apologizing to Jack for not trusting him. She shows some growth there, some vulnerability. One scene that sticks out, Elizabeth, she showed some vulnerability, I think, in the scene, I believe it was towards the beginning of the episode, after the church service, when she's talking to Billy, and she's just once again being fooled by his smooth talking vocabulary. Well, I'm going to invite the loveliest lady of Coal Valley out for a ride. Something like that, And conflict, all the scenes with Jack and Elizabeth arguing over Billy and, if he's trustworthy. And then the scenes of conflict with, Mary and Caleb and DeWitt. That would just be Caleb trying to come to terms with his mom moving on.
I did think of another character vulnerability moment. I do love the scene where DeWitt goes to Caleb. He's at his fishing spot again.
Yes.
And DeWitt is very vulnerable. He finally opens up about his life and his past, and he shares how his father left and life for him as a child growing up with a single mother. And I appreciated how vulnerable he was in that moment.
Yeah. Mountie watch. I think we really only had one Mountie related work scene in this episode, and that was just Jack's continuation of the investigation into the robberies. There was another robbery in this episode, almost two. The first one was when Marta Crocker's silver candlesticks were stolen. And we find this out when he goes to Kat, to check in. And she's worried that her brooch is stolen, which it's not, of course. And then the other scene, actually, I guess there were two. The scene when he confronts the robber.
Takes
and
him down
Elizabeth
to the side of the house.
Finds out.
And we had some really good Mountie action. These two episodes, 5 and 6. Jack is throwing punches. He is beating these guys down.
Yeah.
I forgot that Dan did scenes like this. So when I saw these episodes again, I thought, okay, Dan, okay, Jack, getting physical, getting feisty.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be the most Mountie action ever.
I think we can quote another song.
So far.
But
I think,
what's your song?
I don't know if this fits, but the Olivia Newton-John song about getting physical.
Let's get physical.
Can you imagine the women watching Jack as he's beating this guy? They're all singing, let's get Jack. Kill him.
No, their version should be, I've got chills. They're multiplying. And
oh, so good.
I mean, yes, we've had some action for Nathan, but let's, and I'm good with the real Mountie action. But let's get the physical. Well, wait a second. Let me reword this. Let's get the physical in both aspects action. Let's need her to wrap his hand because he's just punched somebody, or so I don't think that's ever really happened for him, has it? All right, I'm moving way ahead in the series. Call me back.
No, you're right, girl. I think the only tussle I can think of with Nathan is his first episode.
There was this scene in the season 8 finale when Faith did wrap his hand because it got cut by the barbed wire fence or something.
We're not counting that.
No!
We're not counting losing your hat in the barbed wire. I'm saying I want to see Kevin McGarry throwing the punches and then Elizabeth having to wrap his broken wrist and then because Faith isn't available, because Faith already had her turn. And then I want to see her putting ice on his black eye.
Can he be shirtless too? That would really add to it.
I mean, look at all she used to do for Jack with, like when he almost drowned. There are things we are missing that we need to bring back. Because you're right, Dan.
Please
Dan
watch
had a lot
this
more of
episode.
that.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
And yes, shirtless all the way.
all the way.
But anyway, we are not in the 20s right now. We are in 1910. So
All
let's
right.
go back to 1910.
Sorry.
We're not risque yet.
I'm returning to the future. I never quite understood the whole.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
going back in time to return to our current future.
So community scenes. I think there were just a couple in this episode. So this was a brief one, but DeWitt teaching Caleb and some of the kids how to throw a knuckleball. I thought that was a nice moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then the minors' games. So we have a couple of different scenes with the town with the minors' games. So the three-legged race, the egg toss, the cake auction, and the tug of war. Have the two of you ever done a three-legged race, egg toss, or played tug of war?
I have done an egg toss and tug of war.
I don't think I've done. Oh, I had to have done tug of war. We used to have field days at school, but
Yeah.
why was there not wheelbarrows done? You know those ones, right?
Yeah.
That's fun.
That's what I did in school.
Yeah.
I
And
like
we
that
didn't,
one.
we didn't have a cake auction. We had a cake walk.
I remember those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite days at school.
Me too.
Yeah. So for me, I think I have done all three of those, and that was probably at a school field day. So when I was at the all-girls school that I went to, I think once you got into sixth grade, there's a thing at that school, purple and white. So some students are purples, some students are white. And towards the end of the year, we always had a spring field day. And I think we did some of that kind of stuff, like three-legged races. I'm pretty sure we did a tug of war. And then I think in elementary school, we had a field day too at the end of every year, like in the spring. And that was a lot of fun.
That's so fun. Those were so fun.
Yeah. And they were all different color teams. Like there was the yellow team, the blue team, the orange team. I can't remember what color team I was.
I just got a
But it was fun.
certificate for participation. That's all I know.
I did too.
Me too. Me too.
There was no medaling.
Go us. We participated.
But you know what? I've recently have found some photos from it, and they were good memories to find again.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yes.
Me and my short shorts from the 80s.
I love it. Classic.
Yes, me too. So, Coal Valley highlights. What were your top three scenes for both of you?
I liked how Elizabeth approached it with Billy to get him to basically, fess up who he was by basically, having no more money. Yeah. And I love when she catches him with he's talking about the sisters, and she's like, I didn't tell you I had sisters. So I was impressed with that whole entire investigation on her end. And then to see him really like backtrack was pretty good. I loved the ending of the, because it's once again sad to say future. Unfortunately, we don't get to see them be a little family unit. So we get to see them each holding a baby and bonding over that conversation of acceptance with each other too, and really just coming to their own understanding. And then I liked, well, I gotta say that the men must have been very hungry because they were fighting over the cakes.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
And I think it was the last one of Elizabeth's was $3, but so a cake was going for 85 cents then on a good day.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, and then of course the ladies coming together and supporting, and with the babies being born, and
so good. My top three were the first scene of the episode in the woods with Billy, Elizabeth, and Jack. I love the miners' games. That whole scene with the games is just so fun. I love that scene. And then the scene toward the end of the episode with DeWitt and Caleb.
Yeah, that was a good one. I have that one too. on my list. So also for me, I have the talk with Abigail and Elizabeth when they're baking, preparing for the minors' games. And they're also talking about Jack. And, this is when she's basically saying, I know that you two have feelings for each other. And, Elizabeth's like, Jack and I are just friends. And he's a confirmed bachelor. And Abigail's like, no, he's a confirmed Mountie. Duty and honor till the right woman comes along. One of my favorite quotes of this episode.
Yeah.
And Jack and Elizabeth's porch talk and the standoff with Billy, I thought was very well done. Way to go, Jack, for taking down Billy. The mention of the carpetbagger, how about a carpetbagger coming for Elizabeth's money, so to speak? And, Billy is trying to be snarky and say, well, I don't think that's the case anymore. And then Elizabeth comes out and boom.
Busted.
Punches were thrown.
What you gonna do when they come for you?
What you gonna do?
I think I need to go to bed. This no sleep is for the birds and catching up to me.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And then the talk at the end with Jack and Elizabeth when they're holding Carla's twins and making amends. We find out that Elizabeth reached out to Julie to look into Billy. And we hear that, I think it was Billy had read about Elizabeth going to Hope Valley, in the papers, and he was fired from a job in Cape Fullerton, I think for stealing around the same time. So that's, I guess, when he started making his trek to Coal Valley. And that was a great scene. Again, we said it before we started recording. We were robbed of Jack and Elizabeth being parents together. But let's not get robbed with Nathan and Elizabeth, please. Hashtag grant us a family. And some honorable mentions. Jack giving the advice that he learned from Abigail to DeWitt about Caleb. You catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. That was a great moment with them in the saloon. Jack and Billy bidding over Elizabeth's cake. The cake auction. Jack is like, we're just trying to be supportive. We're trying to support you. And Billy says something along the lines of, for a good cause. And Elizabeth looks to Billy, and at one point, I think this is after he compliments her cake, she's like, stop lying. And then Billy walks away, and Jack starts to walk away, and she's like, and you, stop with all the smiling.
Yeah.
That's such a good scene. The teacher pulling the two naughty boys out, giving them a talking to. She's like, stop it.
Stop lying.
Demerits for you.
Right.
You've had a
Yes.
star taken. You've had a star taken away.
Yes. Also, there is a callback with that scene, or at least in my opinion, I think it's a callback or an Easter egg to the pilot movie. So if you remember, Brennan, there was that scene with Aunt Elizabeth in the school when they were bidding on the box lunch.
Yes. Oh,
And when
yeah.
and Mr. Leverly were going against each other, not necessarily for the same reasons. Wynn wanted to go out on a date with her. I think Mr. Leverly was just doing it to
That is a callback. Yeah.
be polite,
Mhm.
help raise money.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But definitely a callback.
Yes.
So, who do you both think had the best performance of this episode? And episode 5, because I forgot to ask that in that review.
I mean, I gotta give it to Dan.
Yeah.
Jack's storyline
Yeah.
throughout the whole thing, from jealousy to being the protector to, like really stepping back and taking in what Abigail is telling him, and then trying to live by that, and then a little curious why that honey doesn't work.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think honestly his storyline was my favorite.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. I think
I would agree with that, Catherine. I third that.
yes. Dan, I think, had the best performance of this episode, but they all did a great job. I think Jill did a great job as Carla. I don't think she's in any more episodes after this, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong, though.
She had the babies and disappeared. She went to the Hope Valley black hole.
She did.
She went to the Coal Valley.
She went to where the mountains are.
She did. They
They all disappeared. No
they
explanation.
disappeared. She disappeared in the mountains, and the mountains disappeared. I do have to also just give a shout out to Andrew Walker. He played Billy. We love Andrew Walker, and he did a great job of playing a character that we don't like.
Exactly.
Yes.
He plays Slimy wonderfully.
He does. He does.
Great job, Andrew.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Billy is definitely a skunk.
Such a good word for
And
him.
Nicole's been waiting a whole 3 hours to be able to say that yet again. So yay, Nicole!
Say it loud and proud, girl.
Skunk.
Yes.
But Andrew is not.
Right. Andrew's very, 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 very sweet.
Yes.
He's like honey.
Yes.
Yes.
He's a lot of fun to talk with.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's great.
And before we move on, I have to mention another honorable mention scene. The one when Billy and Elizabeth are on the carriage ride with the horse and buggy, in the back. And Jack comes by on his horse and they're talking to him. I think Billy says how they were having a conversation on geology, and, Jack rides away and Elizabeth is like, he was so pleasant.
Yes.
Yeah. And she's looking back at him like,
what's gotten into him?
Wonder what he's up to.
Oh, and before that, I just love how Abigail she's just honey.
Honey.
Yeah.
So, what did you think was the best quote of the episode for both of you?
I like the quote that Elizabeth is journaling, and she's talking about how different men and women are. And I think she said something either about how just they're different creatures, or how can we understand each other or communicate.
Yes. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was in this episode.
Me too. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Do you have one, Catherine?
If not, just skip it for next week. I mean, I just really liked that Jack and Elizabeth got closer. And so, I think that anything to move forward is always a good thing. So
yeah, I think so too. So for me, the best quote of the episode: so much of what matters in life rests on trust. Remembering to trust God, discerning which people are worthy of our trust. For when we place our hearts, our lives in someone else's hands, it is an act of faith. It requires courage and hope, but it's worth the risk because it is trust that brings us love. And that is Elizabeth in her journal entry.
That is a very, very, very good segue. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite quotes, I think, of the show.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Learning who to trust.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
Mhm.
You can't trust everyone. Like the smart
Unfortunately,
Billy.
no.
Sometimes not even yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah, but such a beautiful quote.
Mhm.
So, going to Faith and Frontier, what were some themes in this episode for you? And they're probably carried over from episode 5 because this is a 2 episode arc. So, a lot is going to be the same.
Well, we got our second chance. I mean, there was forgiveness
Mhm.
and basically working together. Or,
Mhm.
I think, like, and what I mean by that is really accepting, to see something how the other person is seeing it. I feel like
Mhm.
we get that, especially with Jack and Elizabeth. And trust those mountie instincts.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think there's a theme of finally just letting your guard down, and also a theme of seeing past just yourself,
Mm-hmm.
looking past your own lens and getting past seeing
Mhm.
what you just want to see, and
Mhm.
finally looking at the big picture and looking a little more beyond just yourself.
Mhm. Yeah. So for me, I have trust versus deception, and then honesty and integrity. Those kind of intertwine. So, Elizabeth is torn between her attraction to Billy and her loyalty to Jack. Billy, once again, we've stated it multiple times, he seems charming, but Jack suspects he is dishonest. Elizabeth's struggle highlights the importance of trusting intuition and seeking the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. Bible verse that fits this, Proverbs chapter 12, verse 22. The Lord detests lying lips, but he delights in people who are trustworthy. Now, we mentioned this one in episode 5, but this fits episode 6 too.
Mhm. Yeah.
Discernment in relationships. So, this episode explores the importance of looking beyond surface level attraction to understand a person's true character and how hard it can be to discern that truth when emotions are involved, especially in matters of the heart.
Mhm.
Now, skipping far, far ahead, I know we love this character. He may not always make the smartest decisions, but the scene with Jack and Elizabeth and Billy in the woods, you know, at the very
Mhm.
beginning of this episode, the line when Elizabeth says, I can make my own judgments when a man shows some interest in me.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking to myself, Elizabeth, you've gotten involved in 2 men who have put your life in danger, so to speak.
Danger, yeah.
Lucas,
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
True.
is
To
that
listen,
judgment really?
yeah, I mean, I'm not sure about Elizabeth's instincts. I'm just gonna say it.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's
Oh,
when the extra feistiness comes in.
Exactly.
yes. Of course, skipping ahead, we love Lucas,
Right.
but he doesn't always make the smartest business decisions, which puts the town in danger.
It actually puts the whole town in danger.
Right. The town and the
And
town.
the town. The town within the town.
All the towns are in danger.
Oh my gosh.
So, a Bible verse that would fit this, Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. I think we've already mentioned this one in a couple of our previous reviews for episode 1, 2, or 3. But trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. And that is so fitting for this storyline with Billy and Elizabeth.
Mhm.
And Jack, too. This whole love triangle.
Yep.
Protection and overprotection. So Jack's concerned for Elizabeth could be seen as overprotective, but it ultimately stems from genuine care and desire to keep her safe. The theme here explores the balance between independence and allowing others to look out for your well-being. So again, he does take a step back at times, just keeps a watchful eye on her. And I think he just tries to let her make her own decisions, even if it's not something he agrees with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
While still pushing her to trust him
Right.
in a loving way,
Right.
loving
Yeah.
and caring way.
Yeah.
We mentioned this one for episode 5, but protection, Proverbs chapter 31, verses 8 and 9. Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves. For the rights of all who are destitute, speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and needy. And this could also fit the storyline with the robberies too, like we stated in episode 5.
Yeah.
And then community and mutual support, the minors' games, and then that shows the importance of joy, camaraderie, and lightheartedness and building community spirit, through hardship. And then also Abigail taking in Carla. Could be a theme. Yeah. And I think I'm going to go with the same verses we used for episode 5 for this.
Yeah. It fits.
Yeah. So what is the message you both took away from this episode? The overall message.
I gotta repeat what you both have said. I think just not leaning on your own understanding and choosing to, what we said before, let your guard down. And it's okay to take small steps of trust and starting to put trust in other people, starting to either trust your own instincts or realizing, oh, shoot, my instincts were wrong. Yes.
Yeah.
I think, when you're going with that, I would say one big one is acceptance.
Yeah.
And another one is patience, because I feel like like sometimes you have to be so patient in waiting for that right thing to happen. It's just, or what you feel is right or whatever, it's not always going to go your way. And this is a situation where he was just like, for Jack, he just could not figure out why. And so then where it was once again bringing the honey, and even if that honey didn't work the first time, coming back to it, love is patient, love is kind. And so I feel like it's waiting for those babies to come. I mean, patience for that turnaround that, they needed grace and patience between Caleb, DeWitt, and then Mary. And so I kind of feel like we could just pinpoint things out of that Bible verse and definitely find something that elements to every storyline that we had.
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally.
For me, the message I took out of it, appearances can be deceiving. Discernment is crucial, especially in relationships.
Yeah.
Standing up for the truth and protecting others, even when it's hard, is a sign of real integrity. At the same time, this episode celebrates the value of community and the healing power of joy, even in the midst of adversity.
Yeah. So good.
Yes. So again, we don't have any listener comments about this episode, but we do have Hardy's trivia. So the answer to the trivia question for episode 5, what is Elizabeth's favorite flower, is stated in the scene with Abigail and the widows. She said violets when she was looking at the tea towel. Is that what it was? I think it was a tea towel.
Yeah.
So for any of you Hardys who got the answer right, way to go. And our trivia question for this week, how many funnel cakes did Ephraim, I apologize if I mispronounced that name, tell his mom, Carla, he would eat at the minors' games? Leave your guesses in the comment parties. And we will
did he
reveal it.
walk away with a tummy ache? That is the real.
Yes.
True.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Oh my goodness. Well, this was so much fun, Catherine. Thank you again for joining. We had a great time and can't wait to have you back on.
Oh, I could do it. Yay!
Anytime, girlie.
I love you, ladies.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
We love you too.
So fun.
Yes. We will definitely have you back on for some early episode reviews again, especially when it comes to season 6, 7, and 8.
I'm there. Wink, wink.
Yes.
Can't wait.
Yes. All right, Hearties. Well, I think that wraps up our review of When Calls the Heart, Season 1, Episode 6. If you enjoyed this episode and are watching on YouTube, you can like this video and share your thoughts about it in the comments. If you are listening on Spotify, make sure to rate and review, as your feedback is always greatly appreciated. If you want to stay up to date on all of Brennan and I's When Calls the Heart reviews, you can subscribe to this channel on YouTube and follow along on Spotify. And make sure to turn on the bell so you are alerted when those new episodes come. You can also find the podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Swing My Heart Podcast and Twitter at Swing My Heart Pod. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world. And Brennan and I will see you next week for our review of episode 7 of season 1. We love y'all. Bye.
Bye.